Hello fellow tankers, this is Dauntless, and today I'm going to be playing a game in my Tier 8 Chinese heavy tank, the 112. Now the 112 is a premium vehicle that is recently been added to the cash shop again, and if you don't know much about it, this vehicle is an awesome tank to make credits with. The upper plate and lower plate are very bouncy. The lower plate actually recently got buffed, and the thing is just a complete monster as long as they're not shooting anything over 200 penetration at you. Now, it doesn't really compete very well with tanks such as the Defender or the Patriot, but it does have some decent heat penetration with its premium rounds, and you can go through the lower plate of the Defender and the Patriot quite easily. This tank, unlike the Patriot and the Defender, does not see tier 10s, and so if you're wanting to play a tank and you're not really a fan of the IS-6, this thing is actually quite the beast. Anyway, today we're going to be playing a game on Sacred Valley, and the teams are, needless to say, both teams are pretty darn even. 2 green on either side, majority of them being red. This is a great match for this vehicle because, again, not a lot of people in the red zone know how to really penetrate this tank or how to deal with it, and because of that you can really be a bully. So when you're playing a preferred 8 and you're in a top tier game like this, it's nice to play really aggressively, especially when they don't have really any high skill players on their team. So I'm just going to get the game started. There's really no reason to sit here and wait. I'm going to be pushing into or down the B line. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because while the south is decent, it's not really the greatest for a heavy tank. I could easily go down there and farm some damage, but again, in a match like this, you really want to be where the damage is going to be. In my opinion, this game is going to be over very quickly, and I want to make sure that I get as much damage as completely possible. Now, as you can see, this vehicle isn't really incredibly slow by any means. It's able to keep up with the other heavy tanks. The WZ-111 has been recently buffed, and it's able to keep up with it. I mean, the WZ-111 is a faster vehicle, but overall, the 112 has much better armor, and I would recommend this tank over the 111 if you have an option to buy both. Now, what you see me doing here is a decision that I made while I was driving. They only have 1 artillery, and at the best, he might target me, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. It's only a tier 7 arty, and it's not going to be able to really do much damage to me unless it's able to penetrate me. So I'm going to push around over this way and get hauled down. Now, if you have ever had a tank do this to you from the other side, you'll know that this is a very annoying position for the enemy to take, because you pretty much can haul down in this area, and the only thing that's really able to dig you out is artillery. I have shots all day long on these vehicles, and I'm able to just dig in and just pretty much guarantee that I take no damage. Now, the gun on this thing does have quite a long reload, and it's really not the most accurate either. The penetration is only 175, so tanks like the Defender, I'm going to really struggle to penetrate. The only way I'm going to be able to pen that thing is really in the side. The side of the turret is actually pretty strong too, and 175 really isn't enough to contest it unless it's completely flush. So the Defender is a decent player. I'm not going to really try to go up against him if I can help it. He's really preoccupied. I'm going to take shots at him when I can. I just fired a heat round and it still bounced on the side of its turret. OP. I really don't want to have to take a hit from the Defender as well, because that gun does have the potential to penetrate me. I see a Tiger, take a snapshot. It wasn't really a great shot, wasted a heat round there. Probably should have aimed a little bit better instead of wasting it, but I just want to try to get as much damage as possible in this game. Now, what you see me doing here is aiming at this strip of armor right here. You don't ever want to hit really any Soviet vehicle in this edge right here, because most of the time it's going to be spaced armor, and as you can see, the side of the turret that I bounced earlier is actually very strong as well. So when you have a side profile, especially when you're shooting heat, you do not want to shoot this strip, and you don't want to hit the tracks. You want to aim for that strip. And most the IS-7, the IS-4, the IS-3, any of the IS series will have that exposed side armor. So if you have the time, aim, and it'll go in every time. Now I realize that he's giving me his side quite nicely, and he's not paying attention to me, so I go back to shooting AP. I don't want to waste any more heat rounds if I can help it, and I'm able to put a nice roll into the side of the defender. Now at this point I'm sitting at 1600 damage. I bounced about 1,000, and over half the enemy team is dead. Now I realize at this point that if I want to get more damage, I'm going to have to be aggressive. But, you know, my team is just kind of doing weird things, and you never want to just push out in these scenarios, because if you do mess up for some reason and your team decide to just all die in YOLO, then you basically have thrown the game. I'm having a really good game right now, and while I do want to just push out there and just farm as much damage as possible, I also need to play smart and realize that if I push out, the SU and the A44 are going to get side shots on me, as well as this T150, and I still need to keep my frontal armor towards them as best as possible. So poor little tier 6 didn't really stand a chance finishing blow on the T150. Now I want to push over here and try to engage the rest of these tanks over here. They were able to push around and kill some of our team, and I go for the side armor of the Tiger P. The Tiger P actually has really decent frontal armor, and if you can help it, you really want to shoot it in the side, or what you see me doing here is that this flat piece right here is actually quite thin, and really as long as you have over 100 pen, I'm pretty sure if he's angled like this, you know, this could be a bounce. This is guaranteed almost a bounce with this gun, but you know, this is kind of a hard target to hit this cupola. This is a guaranteed pen almost every time, and I highly recommend going for that shot if you're able to do so. One interesting little fact is the Ferdinand, the tier 8 German tank destroyer, has the exact same hull as the Tiger P, meaning it has those exact same little shoulders, which are not as strong as the hull, meaning that if you engage a Ferdy and you're having trouble penetrating him, if he turns even a little bit sideways, aim for those little spots and you're going to get that penetration for sure. Now I kind of lucked out that this IS just kind of gave me his body. I just pushed around and he just happened to be there. I knew I wasn't going to catch up to him if he had gone north and that the CDC would have had the advantage and got the kill. So I just kind of read that he might possibly push down to where it was, and I just kind of took a shortcut and I was able to get that kill. Now the SU-100Y is all that's left, and I'm just going to go try to finish him off. The CDC is clearly faster than this vehicle, and I really don't think that I'm going to actually get the kill here. But to sum up this battle, I mean, I took 0 points of damage. I was able to haul down, Artie never fired at me, and really I played it real passive, but you can see how the potential that this vehicle has. I really didn't face off anything too dangerous, but this game netted me quite a few credits, and I got 3,700 damage. That's not a bad result if you ask me. Anyway guys, I know not a very challenging game in the least, but I just wanted to show off that this 112 is a complete beast if you can get into games like this. Really just focus on holding down, giving him the front of your tank as much as possible, and aim for weak spots for sure, because this gun is quite derpy, the low penetration. You know, you can bounce, you know, even that T150. I bounced T150s before. So aim your shots well, take your time, you have the armor, hide your lower plate if possible, but the lower plate is quite strong, and I think you'll have a lot of fun. Anyway guys, hopefully you liked this replay. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a like down below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for more content like this in the future. As always guys, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.